is up? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got something a little bit different. In the last video, we took the car out for a drive. The clutch is feeling great, the diff is feeling great. However, we did break a CV axle. I got that replaced. We were able to get about 50 break-in miles on it. During those break-in miles though, this car is currently straight piped for being at the track. So I can hear my car facing like V8 cars and swapped cars that are also very loud. On the street, it is a little bit too obnoxious and it's kind of annoying to drive. It's not very enjoyable on the street. It echoes really bad and then the rasp is horrendous. Yes, under acceleration, but on deceleration, it is not very pleasant. It is ear piercing and it draws a lot of unwanted attention while you're just trying to cruise the car around and enjoy it. So today we are going to switch back on the street muffler or the can and resonator in the back. It's very easy, 2 bolts and 2 hangers to be able to swap that out. This is the other exhaust. It has a resonator and like a 5-inch can with a 4-inch tip on it. So I mean, it's pretty big. That takes down quite a bit of sound and it helps out with not being noticed by the wrong people on the street. It has been sitting for quite a while, so it is very dusty. I'm gonna get it cleaned up and then pull the other exhaust out in just a little bit. It is nice and toasty now, so I need to let that cool before I try and pull it out. Something else I noticed, because this was kind of a concern when I put these tires on, that they were going to be a little bit too wide for this car and be an issue with the fenders. And if you can kind of tell right here, there's a line all the way around. So when I accelerate or like hit bumps on acceleration, the tire is pushing up far enough into the fender to rub on the lip right inside of here. It's just ever so slightly, but it is just enough to where it will cause an issue at the track when I am in high angle with a lot of load on it, really trying to accelerate. So that being said, we are also going to roll the rear fenders today. I have not done that yet. I have done kind of like a jerry rig, hammer them out a little bit with a block of wood and a hammer. It did not roll them quite enough for what this is. I believe I'm gonna have to take the inner flap and basically fold it all the way up tight to the inside of the fender to be able to clear the tire. Let's get this exhaust out of here. I just need my 17mm and a 14. And this thing comes right out usually. Let's get this thing hung back up in here and go out for a test drive. Go. Nice and easy. Always lubricate your hangers. They go on way easier. Well, there you have it. That sounds much better on the road, much cleaner, much more crisp, not raspy or annoying. Now we shall address the tire rubbing issue that we have. The line got bigger just from doing a couple of pulls with the can on. It is rubbing just on the inside lip right up in here. So I'm gonna put the car back up on the stands, pull the rear tires off. I'm going to roll both sides, but we are going to start with this side because this side is already crunched up and wrinkly. So if we mess it up with the fender roller, no big deal. As I'm taking the tires off, I'm just kind of looking at the tread because I haven't really gotten to notice what the tread looks like now that I've had my upper control arms modified. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up in the top corner here. I actually cut the upper control arm in half and was able to add some material in there and space it out enough to be able to zero out my camber in the rear, which helped a lot with grip. Also, you can tell by the tread that is contacting the road, it is nice and even all the way across. I have like 34 PSI in them right now, so it's not actually contacting the outside inch on both sides. So that's 2 more inches of tread that can contact the track once I start airing down, but it's nice and even all the way down and around the tire. These 16s are massive on this car, by the way. Just taking a look at the inside of the fender here, what I might end up doing, because it's kind of a weird shape and corner, I might make a relief cut right here on the bottom so that I can fully pinch this lip underneath all the way in and all the way up and over, and then maybe about where maybe say the seam is that goes all the way up the body line, I'll maybe make a relief cut right here as well. And then because the roller's not going to go all the way down and around because of the way the arch is, it'll get up in the top here, but as soon as you get to where it starts to curve down, it's too much for the roller and it can't get that far. So I'm going to make a cut right here and probably down here as well, and I'll have to take a hammer and actually hammer that flat so that it's down and out of the way. The roller can kind of wait for a minute because that's going to take care of the majority of the top. This side piece right here is not going to be able to work with the roller. So I'm kind of just thinking about what's the best plan of attack for getting this to bend over. And I'm almost just leaning forward, going right for the hammer and just giving it some whacks just to see how it moves at first. If it seems like it's moving pretty good, I'll just continue with the hammer. Otherwise, we'll shove the piece of wood in here and I can kind of tap on that. There's not a lot of swing room here because the hub and knuckle is in the way. And I don't want to take all that back off. I've already had that off many times in the last week. Now that we got that kind of tapped into place, we'll adjust this thing to where we need it, which it's probably close. Yeah, it's actually probably pretty close. But we do need to get this so it's at a different angle. Right now it's pretty steep, just so we can get it inside the fender well. Basically kind of like giving it a flare, but using the material that's there. So let's just take a quick look at what it looks like compared to the other side. I have not looked yet. I have pulled the crap out of this side, the driver's side, because it is already all rippled and wrinkled from the dent pull video. So whatever this ends up being is fine by me. I'm literally just like rolling it so much that it's flaring the fender out. So let's take a quick look from behind. I mean, probably hard to see, but I mean, that looks like it's pulled out a lot. Now let's look at the other side. Oh yeah, I've probably pulled that thing out a solid inch or more. Yeah, that's pulled a lot. That should clear the tire. I'm gonna mount the tire up on this side and on the other side, just kind of setting it there so we can get a little bit better visual comparison, like fender to tread, and really determine how far we actually pulled it. And then if it seems like it's gonna be fine and it's gonna clear on the driver's side, I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. The other side is the nice fender. So I'm gonna take that a little bit easier and maybe not destroy the paint. This side's already really messed up. Now we will get a look at it with a tire on. The very tip of the fender, right up there, is almost flush with the outside of the tire when you look down the body line. It was not that far out before. I pulled it out a lot. Now if we go over to the other side, the tip of the fender is like at the top of the tread right up in here. So that's like an 1.5 inch difference from this side to the driver's side. So it for sure rolled and pulled the heck out of it that direction. I basically created a fender flare out of the fender by just yanking on it. So we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. Why not? Drop a comment down below if you think I should just like sand this whole fender and try painting it. I probably won't paint match it. I'd probably do something different, especially if I plan to do decals in the future. Rather than kind of putting you guys into a time lapse of trying to roll this fender, I'm just gonna get it done and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. We'll wrap this up real quick. I believe I got this side pretty much matched to the other side. It's all pinched up nice and tight in there. No more tire rubbing. It should be all good and set for the track. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys actually thought I was ending it, didn't you? Without even showing you guys the final product on the ground? Nonsense. It looks awesome. It is fantastic. It's like these tires and wheels are meant to be on this. Like I pulled that fender out, not even joking, like almost 2 inches to be able to go flush with the outside of the tire and the wheel. That's insane. That looks way better. There is not gonna be any rubbing on that tire now, whether I'm on the street or at the track. Yeah.